Good morning, Agents of Nothing, and welcome to our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast. We're your commanding officers. I'm Mariah.
And I'm Caroline.
And today we're going to be talking about Season 4, Episode 3, Uprising.
Yeah. So, Mariah, how was your week?
It was good. I've been working a lot, but it's been fine. I like my coworkers a lot, and the work is fun.
Yeah.
So, the issue is I've just been trying not to spend my entire paycheck on Jellycats.
Yep.
For those who not in the know, Jellycats are a brand of stuffed animals, and they're so cute. Like, it's not just stuffed animals, it's like stuffed food and stuffed like plants. Like, it's really cute. Look it up.
They're very cute. And Mariah's been having a lot of fun with it on TikTok.
Yes, I have. That's part of my job, is to make TikToks for the company.
I'm so happy about that, by the way, because that was like a problem at your last job, was that they didn't like your TikToks and they didn't get it. And now you get to make all the TikToks. Including the questionable ones.
Yeah. That oh my god, there's one TikTok on there that I cannot believe my boss okayed. That like, there's this one Jellycat that's like the face of the Jellycat brand. Like, his name is Jellycat Jack. That's like the first original Jellycat. And he's so ugly.
He's
and
awful.
All of my coworkers agree he's so ugly. And my boss okayed a TikTok using an audio basically like saying that it was ugly and I didn't like it.
It made me laugh a lot. Oh, yeah.
How was your week?
Mine was good. I taught Penny how to lay down, finally.
Aww.
She's been learning a lot through, like, other types of training, like, and, like, watching Chip. But this is the first thing that we, like, I sat down with her and we did, like traditional training sessions, and she finally, like, learned down. And so I was so proud of her. I'm proud of me.
Aww. That's so nice.
Yeah, she's learning so fast. So, that's all.
Your little children.
My little children growing up.
Your youngest.
My baby. Imagine if I had talked about them like that. If I was like, yeah, my 14-year-old, and then my 8-year-old, and then my 6-month-old.
You should. Absolutely. Oh man, I can't believe Juliet's that old.
I know. It's crazy. I got her my freshman year of high school. As a little tiny baby.
Little baby.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get my own baby cat.
He'll do it one day.
One day. God. One day. Fuck. Okay. Are we ready?
Yes.
Alright. This episode was written by Craig Titley and directed by Magnus Martins.
Magnus? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sorry, that just reminded me. We had a patient come in at work and his name was Magnus Noodleman.
No.
Sorry. The name Magnus has been on my mind. I love that.
Well, Magnus Martins also previously directed for the Marvel Netflix series Luke Cage.
Wow.
So, a little connection there.
That was the offshoot of Jessica Jones, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. All right. Who do we meet in this episode?
We meet really only a few new people. Maria, that bitch. I did not like her. Elena needs to be done with her. This is not your friend. Um, Senator Nadir, who is not any better at all, like worse actually because she's a senator. um, and then the amazing Mertz, or as we like to call him, the magnificent Merv.
We were trying to remember what his name was for this part of the script, and I was like, the Magnificent Merv, I think.
You said it so confidently too. I was like, totally, that's it. But also, whose name is Mertz? Where did that come from?
Yeah, I don't know.
Loved it though. He did great. We love Mertz.
We love Mertz.
Poor guy. Okay, let's get this started.
Let's do it.
Let's get this party started at a rooftop of a hotel in downtown Miami. Yo-Yo is there, so sorry. I was like, in my mind, that was like the cadence of like a something terrible, and then I said yo-yo, and I'm like, yo, we're at a rooftop party in Miami. I don't know. Anyway, Yo-Yo is there. We are not. Yo-Yo is celebrating her friend's bachelorette party or engagement party.
I think it was a bachelorette party.
Yeah, because we didn't see the groom. So.
Yeah, no. We heard talk of him.
Yeah. Is that okay? So Sammy was the groom.
Yeah, I changed that in the script.
Yeah, I don't know why in my mind that was her son for some reason. Maybe because why would a
Maybe
grown
it's the
man
name
be
Sammy,
called Sammy? Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, bachelorette party. Elena's friend Maria is the bride, and she is poking fun at Elena. Really, like, kind of going too far.
Yeah.
For not wearing a dress. Which, like, first of all, nobody has to wear a dress. And also, Elena looks hot as fuck. I don't know why we're acting like she's unstylish or something. Like,
yeah, especially you see later she's got a little crop top on with a little
yeah,
fringe.
like, just because she doesn't dress like you doesn't mean she's not dressed up.
Yeah.
She was pissing me off.
Her friends kind of suck.
Yeah, I kind of hated them. All of them.
So, Natalia Cordova Buckley, who began appearing on the show during the third season, was surprised to find the writer's characterization of Rodriguez in the episode to closely mirror her own life. Cordova Buckley stated that, like how Rodriguez is seen in the episode, she dislikes nightclubs and has found herself changing over time to be a different person from who her old friends remember. For Cordova Buckley, this was seen in returning to Mexico after becoming an actor in the United States, which is reflected with Rodriguez's friends from Colombia from before she worked with S.H.I.E.L.D. as an Inhuman asset.
Aww. Well, I hope that it didn't reflect too closely because in that case, your friends suck.
Yeah. Truly.
But that's it. I mean, it's hard. It's always hard to like kind of outgrow parts of your life. That I think that's something everybody has to deal with at some point, but it's really a shitty part of growing up.
Yeah.
So, during the party, Elena starts getting a couple of calls from Mac, and at the second one, her friend Maria literally steals her phone and is like, "Oh, I'm gonna answer this," and then not say anything.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Yo-Yo, are you there? Can you hear me?" And then she's like, "He calls you Yo-Yo." That annoyed the crap out of me. I'm like, it's annoying enough that you stole her phone and answered it when she clearly did not. She's trying to like be there with you at your party, and then you're gonna steal her phone, answer it, and then not say anything.
Truly.
But Suddenly, during the phone call, the power goes out in all of downtown Miami. You see the lights just go out like dominoes in all the tall buildings. A helicopter even falls out of the sky into the building next to them. So fucking yikes.
Oh shit.
Like, I would say maybe let's leave this tall building if things are gonna be falling
like
out of the sky.
like now.
So, on the news, we see a shadowy figure saying that he's part of the Inhuman Resistance and that the citywide blackouts will continue to occur unless the governments of the world end registration. Um, he says, if you don't allow us to live in peace, we will use our powers to fight you. And I mean, at this point, in solid protest effort, honestly. Excellent disruption, guaranteed to grab attention. Um, if it wasn't hurting people, I would have been 100% for it.
Yeah.
Uh, Obviously, that changes through the episode. But anyway,
If it
so
were actually the Inhumans,
yeah, right,
I'd respect it.
totally. Um, and if it didn't include like emergency generators at a hospital or something, like
Yeah, for real.
totally. Um, anyway, so Jeff, Mac, Fitz, and Jeff's other cabinet members are all watching this broadcast and are very concerned. Mac tells Jeff that their contact in Miami, Yo-Yo, has been offline for several hours and he hasn't been able to contact her. So Jeff tells him, Fitz, and Coulson to suit up and fly out to her. But Mac says that Jeff should be the one to tell Coulson because Coulson is so very upset about Jeff's last orders, saying that he could not know anything about May.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Coulson and Simmons are watching May's vitals on a screen while Simmons is yelling at someone on the phone about how they are lying to her about May's condition. And she knows this because she is literally watching May's vitals on a screen in real time. Like, why would they lie about it?
Truly.
And then they hang up on her? I'm sorry. All of them are fired. Every single one.
Everyone.
As Coulson is begging Simmons to tell him where they're keeping May, Jeff comes in and tells Coulson himself that May is at a CDC facility in upstate New York. And that the reason he didn't tell Coulson this is because he knew that Coulson would have gone straight there and he needed Coulson on base in case of an emergency, such as the one that we found ourselves in now. But as he's saying this, oh my god, Chen's vitals spike as well, and then he just dies before they can do anything.
Ew, 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 ew. The bleeding from his eyes.
It's so bad.
I couldn't take it.
It was bad.
Nope. Nope.
God.
Nope.
Simmons says that the same thing is going to happen to May in the next 24 hours unless they allow Simmons to move forward with whatever long shot idea she has. Jeff immediately agrees to anything Simmons needs to make it happen. I still like Jeff. But then he interrupts Coulson to tell him that he is not allowed to go to New York because he has to go to Miami. I'm a little annoyed with Jeff now because have you not heard of friendship? How the fuck is Coulson supposed to focus on a mission right now when his best friend is literally dying? Jeff ultimately reminds Coulson that this is the call that you would make if you were in my shoes, and Coulson knows that this is correct. He vaguely nods as Jeff walks away, and he's right. That's true. Unfortunately.
But we would be annoyed at Coulson for doing it too.
Yeah. So Yo-Yo's friends are starting to freak out, obviously, because they can't contact anyone because all their phones don't work either. One guy says that they should leave the rooftop because he heard that they're under attack by Inhumans. Which, how did he hear this if none of their phones are working?
Plot hole.
And I wrote that down, but now I'm like, oh my god, he was in on it. Except that he was an idiot, so I don't know. Um, Elena says that they are actually safer there on the roof than down on the street, but her bride friend Maria is adamant about getting to a phone to reach her fiance Sammy. So she heads for the exit. Um, Elena rallies the other women to go with her so that she won't be alone, and then one friend complains about going down 30 flights of stairs in heels. You can take them off.
Yeah.
uh,
Truly, I think like a foot fungus or whatever is the least of your problems in a blackout
right. Go down the
in
stairs,
this particular situation.
get home, and then take a shower, and you'll be fine.
Wash your feet real good.
Just wash them. Um, but Elena replies, "That's why I don't wear them." I love her so much. Like, fucking tell them. They can make jabs at her style all they want, but at the end of the day, you're gonna want Elena on your side, dress and heels or not. So,
Truly.
and then I didn't write it down, but she said something. She said something that they were like, "Oh, is that what you learned in Los Angeles or whatever?" Uh,
Oh yeah, no. She was explaining what an EMP was, and
oh,
then they
right.
were like, "What do you do in Los Angeles again?"
Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I liked it. Speaking of, in Los Angeles, Robbie and Daisy are stopping for gas on their way to see Robbie's uncle, Elias. Elias, or Elias? Elias.
Elias.
Elias Morrow. Elias was an electrical engineer at the Momentum Lab and is currently in prison for attempted manslaughter at said lab. As they're talking, though, another car pulls up with the news radio blaring about the blackout in Miami and the Inhumans' threat of more blackouts if their demands aren't met. Robbie says that he hopes it doesn't happen in LA because his little brother will get stuck on the metro in a bad part of town. And side note, I had to Google this because I had no idea that LA had a rail system.
I googled it too.
And like,
I
do people actually use it? Because aren't they like known for the worst traffic ever? Like hellish traffic?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's probably not very good. I
Yeah.
feel like I've heard that particularly the public transportation in Los Angeles is like not great.
Ugh,
But that's like
annoying.
most major cities.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was fun. That was a fun fact. And so of course, as they're talking about this, the EMP goes off on their street, obviously, and the power starts going out in sparks all around them. The cars all stop, and everything sucks. So, shit. Radcliffe is hustling to get something ready with Ada before Shield shows up. And the line about her, uh, he's like throwing instructions at her, and she is not doing it. And he's like, "Why aren't you doing it?" And she's like, "I'm searching my encyclopedias for those acronyms." Yeah, that sent me. I love that. That's how I feel at all times at my job because I'm like trying to learn all the vet med jargon and stuff that with absolutely no experience.
Me,
Um,
but there's this brand of cloth diapers and bibs and whatnot
oh God,
um, that like have these different designs on them, and so it's like cozy coop with like chickens on it, and then there's like I don't remember all the names, but like they have specific names for these designs, and I have
yeah,
to like remember because like we get a lot of online orders, so we have
yeah,
to like pull the order, and I have to like know which is which.
yeah, right.
It's a whole thing.
Right, because if it's online, you can't just ask them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'll be like, I'll have a call on hold or something because I have to go ask a doctor or someone on the medical team about it, and they'll give me an answer, and I'll be like, uh, okay, so like, what do I tell them?
Write it down for me.
Can you wait? Okay, or they'll. Oh, like one time, one of the doctors was giving me an answer. He was like, "Okay, so this is what you're gonna tell the client. It's this, 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 this. This causes this, and then this will happen if this happens." And I was like, "Hang on, wait a minute. Can you slow down?" Yeah. So I feel you, Ada. Um, so anyway, Radcliffe simplifies, and she is able to do what she needs to do. And then he goes to put her away and turn her off right as Shield is arriving at his door. So Radcliffe joins Simmons as they finally give May a sedative to calm down and get to work on saving her. Simmons says they now have about 6 hours until certain death. I'm sorry. We just said that you had 24 hours. What happened to the other 18? Like, where were they? What were they doing?
I mean, so I assume the base is in DC. So she had to get from upstate New York to DC. I don't think it takes that long.
No, I don't. Especially when they have like Quinjets and
Yeah,
they have so many very fast flying things.
truly. I don't know.
Plot, I guess. So, Coulson, Mac, and Fitz are on their way to Miami, and they're watching a news report fanning the flames against Inhumans even more. This is where Senator Nadir comes in, and she says, "This is an act of war, and if we don't fight back now, we are complicit in our own extinction." And I mean, like, obviously, we know that this is a frame job and everything, but like, they're pretty clear about like a very reasonable demand. So that seems pretty dramatic, actually. And honestly, for a frame job, like, it's a pretty reasonable demand to like
Yeah,
give to the people that you're trying to make into a villain, for them to be like, "Hey,
yeah.
stop stalking and killing us," and be like, "See, this is why they're trying to kill everybody."
So this, it's sort of in the wrong place, but it had themes of this part, so that's why I put it here.
Cool.
So, with S.H.I.E.L.D. being announced as a legitimate organization again after working in secret since the end of the series' first season, executive producer Jed Whedon said that the reaction to this would be mixed, as there are people who, as we see with the Senator, are outspoken against Inhumans and will be against any form of protection for them. There are also people who are afraid. The idea of bringing S.H.I.E.L.D. back into the light is to ease their fears, so it's going to be mixed. Elaborating on this fear of Inhumans, Whedon said, "The fun part about a genre TV show is you can speak in metaphor. There
Yeah.
is a lot of fear of the other in our world right now. We get to do that with Inhumans and humans. We get to tackle those issues head on without ever really talking about them."
Yeah, absolutely. I think they do a really good job about that, actually.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially the time that this was airing, because this was airing like 2016, 2017.
oh my god. Yeah. Not that it's gotten much better, but
Yeah, truly.
but yeah, that this was very topical for the time. So, moving on, we learned that there have been 4 cities with blackouts in 5 hours: London, Los Angeles, Moscow, and Miami. Coulson and Mac both realize that they have relocated Inhumans to all of those cities. So it would make sense that Inhumans are behind it, but it just doesn't feel like the correct answer to Coulson. Fitz says that he has everything they need to reverse the EMP devices, so it should be easy to restore power and figure out where it's coming from and who's behind it in each place. Fitz, uh, he says, "It ought to be quick and easy." And then Max says, "Good, it's getting bad out there." I don't know why I added that.
Specifically.
Usually I add like a direct quote because it was funny or something, but okay.
You were on one last night.
I was really, I don't know what happened. So then we cut to a shot of guys in LA, literally just like breaking windows on every car parked on the side of the street. They're not even stealing anything. They're just breaking shit. The
Y'all can
blackout
go to
started
a rage room. Pay like
literally
$10.
go to the junkyard or something. Like, oh my god. And the blackout started like an hour ago, bro. Their immediate thought was, there's no power. We have to go grab our baseball bats and
Break
just
shit.
go down the line. Like, I will never understand that mentality. Like, it's like with the Purge movies and stuff where, like, oh, crime is legal for one night, so everybody becomes a murderer. Like, stealing food or money, rob a bank, go to a grocery store, that I understand. But, like, just just breaking things? And, like, not even people that you know, just random strangers. And, like, go take a nap or something. I don't know. That has never made sense to me.
No.
Um, so anyway, Robbie's little brother Gabe is on the other side of the street from the window smashers, and he's looking a little nervous, as anyone would be. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Um, he starts wheeling himself away very nonchalantly, trying not to call any attention to himself. Um, and the guys are starting to pull guns and threaten people who are still in their cars to get out. They're still not stealing anything. They're just like, get out of your car so we can smash the window.
It's just violence for the sake of violence. Like,
Yeah. Um, one of them sees Gabe noticing them because they're being very loud. And then threatens to take his wheelchair. What the fuck is wrong with these people?
like, I know this is like supposed to be like cartoonishly evil. These characters are not supposed to have any depth to them whatsoever.
Yeah.
But are there actually people that evil in the world? Because I refuse to believe that.
I mean,
Like,
I
I
don't
know that
know.
there is,
There has to
but
be. There's got to be at least someone. But oh my god. And to be the line too was something like, "Hey, how about we steal his wheels or something?"
yeah,
like
like
instead of
he
the
was like,
car.
these cars aren't moving. Let's steal his wheels.
What the fuck? And so then what are they? So they're gonna like leave him on the sidewalk, and then there's like five of them. Are they just gonna like sit in each other's laps and wheel each other around? What? Anyway, luckily, Robbie screeches to a halt in his car before the guys can even take a step towards Gabe. And also, luckily, Robbie's car is, what did she say,
Pre 1980.
1980, so there are no electronics, so his car still works. So then the fight ensues, obviously, and the lovely gentleman who threatened to take the disabled child's wheelchair then holds a gun to said child's head. And, like, nobody was even looking. Like, what was the point? He was gonna kill him for no reason. Because nobody was paying attention to him anyway. Luckily, Daisy saves Gabe and shatters her wrist again in doing so. Robbie says that he didn't even use the Ghost Rider in the fight, that it was all him, and then they help Gabe into the car and they head out, and all of the terrible men are just like lying on the sidewalk. So Elena and her friends have made it to the lobby of the building, and she tries to convince Maria to stay inside and wait for the power to come back on. But just then, a gaggle of men arrive, armed, of course, obviously, and they cover all the exits, saying that they just want the Inhuman. Terrifying.
Yeah.
Radcliffe and Simmons put the helmet thing that Radcliffe made onto May and then look through her brain hologram. Crazy technology.
The effect was so cool how they
Yeah.
would they were literally like passing it back and forth to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I bet that was fun to do. Like,
Yeah.
for. um, anyway, so in the hologram, they find a hyperactive, dream wake, hallucinating piece of her brain, and determine that all these people have been, quote, scared to death. And so Simmons says, well, how do you stop it? And Radcliffe says, how do you cure fear? And then cut. Like, what?
The look that Simmons gave him after, like, it was a completely blank look. And I'm sure it like wasn't supposed to mean anything, but I just imagine her thinking, "What the fuck?"
What are you talking about? In my head, I was like, in dog training, it's positive reinforcement. What do you, like, you gonna give her a treat? um, and then they don't have an answer because then the next time that we see them, he's like, we have to kill her. That's how you cure fear? You kill it? Anyway.
I shrugged that this isn't a visual medium. I apologize.
So back at the hotel lobby, Elena is learning that her friend Maria is very alien phobic. Um, so it was probably a really good thing that she doesn't know about Elena's powers, because then one of her douchebag friends from the party throws the fucking magician under the bus. I'm sorry. Like, what? They're like, we're looking for a powered person. He's like, that guy was doing sleight of hand magic. He was doing close up magic.
So the amazing Mertz is a magician, with the actor Derek Hughes himself having reached the finals of America's Got Talent in 2015 with a magic act.
No way! Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Good for you, Mr. Hughes. Derek.
I guess I do always wonder, like, magicians in TV shows, how, like, I guess they do kind of have to know how to do the tricks.
Yeah. I feel like I can't remember if this is right or not. But Milo Ventimiglia, or however you pronounce his name, had to learn close-up magic for Gilmore Girls. Because Jess, for some reason, as part of his bad boy shtick, likes to pull coins out of Rory's ear.
That's what makes him a bad boy, is that he likes close-up magic. Amazing.
I've never met anyone who does close-up magic with pure intentions.
It's always to get chicks. I feel like it would work on me to an extent, but at some point I'd be like, you're gonna take something from me one day. you're gonna rob me one day and I'm not gonna know.
You're gonna just stick it up your sleeve.
Yeah. God. Anyway, so Coulson, Mac, and Fitz are arriving to the dead zone in Miami and trying to assure Jeff that they will figure this out. They have other agents heading to all the other dead zones as they speak, etc. Jeff is getting on my nerves a little bit with the whole, like, I need a win, Phil, with a capital W. Like, what do you think he's doing right now? He's literally working on it. there are lives at stake. Like, do you really think that Phil Coulson is gonna just give up on something?
Yeah.
No.
during this scene, Fitz fucking with Mac is everything to me. When he was like, Mac was like talking about why couldn't Yo-Yo get in touch with him yet? Like there should be a workaround, and Coulson's like, does the science department want to weigh in on this? And Fitz is like, she's at a bachelorette party. She's probably busy having fun dancing with all the sexy Latino guys.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Mac was like, I am not taking that bait. Besties.
I love them. But as they cross into the dead zone, the car, the video call, and all other electronics stop, including Coulson's bionic hand getting stuck holding the steering wheel, which was hilarious.
And then it stays clawed like that for like the rest of the time that the power's out.
I loved it. Fitz realizes that none of his devices are actually going to work, obviously, because this is like a continuous EMP pulse. If I remember correctly, just a regular EMP would turn off everything that was on at the time, but if it wasn't on, you can turn it on after the pulse goes.
Yeah.
But because it's continuous, nothing works at all.
Yeah.
So Fitz is realizing that they are going to have to try and find the EMP with paper, pencil, flashlights, and no transportation. Woohoo!
I loved Fitz was like, you know what will be a good source of light? A flaming skull head.
Oh, yeah.
And Coulson said something about like being mad that he was the only one who didn't see it or whatever. And Mac was like, no, trust me, you didn't want to. And then Fitz goes, sir, it was quite unsettling.
Oh, I love him. So Robbie and Daisy are lighting candles in the living room
Romantic.
while Gabe is in the kitchen. Oh my god, they're just like having a date with his little brother in the other room. Wow.
I know. I ship them so hard.
I like them a lot.
That's something that we talked about in the interview with Tina that you didn't understand at the time.
You talked about that. I didn't talk about that.
Yeah. She was asking about like what my favorite ship was or something, and I said, "Oh, Robbie and Daisy."
It's a good one. I like them. So while they're lighting the candles, well, I guess really Robbie is lighting the candles. Daisy's just like standing there,
Daisy's
holding
just like cradling her arm. Yeah.
So Robbie asks about her arm and like what she needs for it. And Daisy's like trying to be strong and like just turn the conversation back around. And Robbie reveals that he actually never gets hurt during his quote night job. He's been stabbed, shot, run over twice, etc. as the ghostwriter, and he always wakes up without a scratch. So he really isn't much help to Daisy right now. Except for the fact that he can take advantage of the blackout and go steal her some meds and supplies. Which is very nice of him.
Yeah.
Robbie warns Daisy not to tell Gabe about his night job and then heads out, leaving Daisy and Gabe to their leftovers for dinner. So, and I was really excited about her and Gabe like getting to interact, and then he ruined it.
Yeah.
God damn it, Gabe.
He's just looking out for his brother. I kind of get it, but
yeah. Anyway. So the situation in Miami is growing more and more tense. The poor Mertz is begging for his life, saying that it was just sleight of hand. It was obviously not real magic. And the men start to pull a gun on him one at a time. So Elena yo-yos around, taking each one until Maria notices, and it is so horrified that Elena is an inhuman that she somehow forgets that Elena is literally saving all of their lives right now, and then has such a huge reaction that she causes people to see and point out Elena to the gunman. Oh my god. But just in the Nick Jonas of time, Mac, Coulson, and Fitz arrive, and they take out every single gunman. And for a fight scene, y'all know how I feel about fight scenes. This one was pretty fucking cool. It was so smooth and quick, and Mac was hot as fuck. Oh my god.
Coulson and Co to the rescue.
Yeah.
But then, oh my god, Jesus Christ, Fitz, when he stabbed that guy in the hand.
Yeah, that was wow.
I was like, God damn.
This was a really this was a great fight scene.
Yeah.
And I liked that they came in and they obviously like it showed how skilled they are, um and they just like did it like quick and easy.
Yeah.
Just took everyone out and they didn't like waste time. um so after all the bad guys are in zip ties, and the rest of the civilians have cleared out, Maria tells Elena, in not so many words, that it doesn't matter that Elena just saved everyone, but especially Mertz's life twice. Um, Maria only sees her own hatred of anyone different than herself, and so she is not Elena's friend anymore. And I just want to give Yo-Yo a hug so bad. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So Radcliffe and Simmons are running out of time, so Radcliffe suggests a genius new idea: killing May. Excuse the fuck out of me, Daniel. What are you talking about?
The commercial break cutaways are so dramatic and funny.
Absolutely. It's insane. And I love that there are not commercials on Disney Plus.
Truly.
Because that makes it even more dramatic. um but yeah, okay, and I'm still like waiting for how do you cure fear? Radcliffe?
Yeah.
Hello? We just skipped that conversation. Um so Coulson shoots the main gunman guy. Did he? I don't think he ever had a name.
No.
Okay. So Coulson shoots him to prove that he is wearing military grade tactical gear and a bulletproof vest. Um, and then Mac notices the watchdog tattoo on the man's hand. So clearly, this was not being done by the Inhumans. This was actually an attempt to kill Inhumans and frame them for their own murders.
Yeah. The watchdogs were behind it, and someone is behind the watchdogs, funding them.
Uh-huh. So Gabe starts to give Daisy the little brother interrogation. Gotta know her intentions with his brother. And you know, from there, I was like, yeah, no, I get this. And then he went too far. He says that while Robbie may think he's taking care of Gabe, Gabe has to take care of Robbie too. And he's been worried about Robbie lately because he's always going out late at night and being super secretive. And now Robbie brings this girl home, and Gabe is trying to figure out if she is a good thing or a bad thing. After searching the watchdogs, Elena finds a list of Inhumans, including phone numbers and addresses. Coulson says that it came from the Inhuman Registry, which gets updated constantly with their current location, literally every time they move. So public, like government stalking, basically, is what that is.
Yep.
Fitz figures out the solution to their problem is or to the EMP problem, is homemade compasses, and then timing the pulses or whatever.
I loved that Fitz was like, weren't any of you in the scouts? Which is funny
Yeah,
because we talked about that like at
we
length.
did. Yeah, we did. I was like, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. So Radcliffe's genius idea is to basically reboot May's brain by stopping her heart long enough for her brain's hyperactive areas to stop functioning and then shock her back to life and hope that it goes back to default. This is like a classic supernatural solution, and so I was so mad, and also like this plan never works. It never goes how they want it to go. But okay, sure. So Simmons agrees and says they'll have 7 minutes from the time May's heart stops until she has irreparable brain damage. Uh, so so they just go ahead and do it immediately. No other discussion. And of course, with only a couple of minutes left, which like the I, they act like nothing will happen at all in the 7 minutes, but she will still get brain damage from not having oxygen. Um, she just it just will be like irreparable to the point that she won't be able to wake up after 7 minutes. But with only like 2 minutes left or whatever, Justice Simmons is about to shock May back to life. The fucking power goes out, obviously. Of
Because of
course.
course it does.
And Radcliffe's emergency generator did not kick in, obviously. So he goes to see what he can do while Simmons desperately starts CPR. Fuck.
Oh my god.
This is the worst plan they ever could have come up with. Although I guess if like the other option was certain death and this is probably death, I guess that weighs it out. um, so the president, because obviously they're going to leave us on a cliffhanger there, the president calls Jeff as DC's blackout starts, and the shadowy figure is back on the news, demanding that the registration be eliminated or else they will keep taking cities. And like, obviously we know at this point that this is not the Inhumans. But also, like, how hard is it to do that though? Just like it's a reasonable request to not want to be stalked, and so I'm just like, this
I
is
think I feel like it's very telling that the watchdogs and, as we find out, Senator Nadir, um, they are so certain that this very simple demand will not be met
yeah,
that they use it as a scapegoat to
yeah,
like get people to attack the Inhumans.
absolutely, yeah. I just was the whole episode. I was just like, why? Why can't we just do that? Why like it's not a crazy thing for them to ask. And they only have the one demand. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not there hasn't been any strings attached that we've heard of. Like literally just eliminate the registration, and that's it. Anyway,
Hmm.
oh,
It makes you so mad.
yep, and about real things too. Um, so Fitz finally manages to triangulate the location of the EMP device, um, and while Simmons is desperately performing CPR and sobbing over May's lifeless body, which was so intense, Radcliffe finally realizes that he has a battery that they can use. Ada's. He rushes to get it, hooks it up to the paddles, and they bring May back to life. Good as new. So much for the 7-minute rule. um, but oh my god.
Whenever people wake up from being revived, it's always with a start. Like,
Yeah,
on TV at least. Like, I wonder if that actually happens.
I feel like it would make sense for it to be like a gasping breath or something.
But, like,
But yeah,
immediately
they
sitting
always
up,
just
I
like
don't.
wake up. Yeah, that's I don't know. Interesting.
So, discussing May's death and revival at the hands of Dr. Radcliffe in the episode, Whedon said, "She's May, so she's kind of like, oh, that happened. But she now has common ground with Coulson, as if they didn't have enough common ground as it is."
Truly.
Executive producer Marissa Tancharoen added that May's dying will impact her life in ways that you might not expect at this point in time.
I mean, I'm certainly expecting something because of the brain damage. um, but yeah, wow. So Fitz, Coulson, Mac, and Elena make it to the power source. They fight everyone. Okay, and this is where, like, for the rest of the script, there are some things that I certainly missed, and that I don't know what I was talking about sometimes. Because this was like this was like 2 a.m. and I thought I was awake, but I don't think I was. Okay, so I'm just gonna read it how it's written and hope that that's entertaining. So Fitz, Coulson, Mac, and Elena make it to the power source, fight everyone, and then turn the power back on, all while taking out over a 12 armed guarded. Over 12 armed guards. Okay, got it. And TBH, I can watch Elena move with her powers forever.
That was a really cool effect.
It was cool. Anyway, so back to Gabe and Daisy. Gabe lets Daisy know that he knows that she's Quake, and he promises to keep her secret if she stays away from Robbie. Yikes, Gabe. This is a real Romeo and Juliet situation that you have now put them in, and so now she's definitely not going to stay away from him.
Whedon called Gabe, asking Daisy to leave Robbie. Another blow to Daisy and her emotional makeup, as she has been trying to operate alone because she doesn't want to be a danger to anyone else. Now, Gabe voices her very fear.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, because like she's been she's been like absolutely suicidal this whole
Yeah.
season, um, and like doesn't think that anyone should be around her. And now the one person that she's like, well, I can't kill him and he can't kill me, so we're finally like an even match. And then his little brother's like, I don't like you. Stay away from him.
You rob banks. Me.
Yeah, and Robbie robs convenience stores, drugstores. So, your the voice you used was really funny.
Where I went, me.
You rob banks. A little delayed reaction, but um. So Coulson brings their watchdog findings to Jeff and advises Jeff to speed up the new shield rollout to get ahead of all the crazy accusations against Inhumans. Their relationship is something.
Truly.
Yeah.
It's like a weird, like, advisor type role, but, like, I feel like Jeff just kind of wants someone to tell him what to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jeff is like really in over his head,
Yeah.
and overwhelmed. I feel like just based on the only conversation that we've heard about it, um, he like took this role as a favor to
Yeah,
Colson,
kind of.
and then he's like, okay, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to be your boss, or do you want to tell me what to do? Because like what's happening? um, Mac and Elena finally talk about the thing that he's been dying to talk about. Elena being in contact with Daisy and stealing meds from Shield. Mac says that there shouldn't be any secrets between the two of them, and Elena says, "Why? There's nothing else between us."
Oh.
Oh my god! Like that that stung me. Jesus Christ. Um, and then I don't remember what else happened in that conversation. Did they make up? Are they cool?
I don't think so.
Okay, so the
She said that he's hot when he's angry, and then he got
yeah.
mad because she also knew about the ghostwriter.
Oh, right. Because she had the picture of him, but that it was a picture of a painting. Like
Truly.
that, it's not like she met the guy. That like at that point he's like an urban legend.
Yeah.
Um. Anyway, so Coulson and Fitz join them, and then they discuss the ghostwriter and the momentum lab. But then they stop when they see Jeff on TV. Jeff officially relaunches S.H.I.E.L.D. to the world and promises to protect humans and Inhumans alike. He also sets the record straight about who really caused the blackouts and that the Inhumans were framed.
The new Shield logo is so ugly.
Truly. I, uh, as I said to our exclusive viewers earlier, um, I went back and watched the last like 5 minutes of the episode, like right before we started, and yeah, it's ugly as hell. Like there's no color to it. They took the life out of it, is what happened.
Yeah.
So that's what the government does.
Truly. We both keep saying truly.
Truly. It's our thing. You know, I feel like we have like different eras of our go-to phrases.
Responses. Yeah.
Yeah, like mine. I've tried actively to stop saying interesting, um, because even though I meant it very genuinely. I feel like it sounded condescending, and so I stopped. Tried to stop saying it, but sometimes it still happens. But yeah, and then this episode, I've said "oh my god" so many times. I can hear myself saying it, and I can't stop.
I didn't notice.
Cool, good. So anyway, Gabe tells Robbie, when he gets home, that Daisy just decided to leave while he was asleep. He just went to sleep and then she was gone. I don't know. I don't know what happened. And Robbie looks like he got slapped in the face. It made me sad. And then Daisy's moving in her van. Obviously, they're both sad. Fucking Gabe. Why did you get in the middle of things?
So, actor Gabriel Luna said that Robbie Reyes chose to work with Daisy Johnson after the last episode because, quote, I respect her power and I respect her. I understand that she's going in the same direction I am. She's seeking the same ends that I am. So I offered the opportunity for her to jump in and saddle up and we go find these things out. Yeah. We read that last episode. But he also noted that they get sidetracked with the blackouts in this episode, and then Gabe asked Johnson to leave. Luna said, that look on his face when you see is perhaps a little disappointment in that he started to have a bond with someone he hasn't killed. I think that face you see is one of, not fear, but definitely concern that the one person who knows that Robbie Reyes is Ghost Rider is now back out there running around doing whatever she has to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it. There was so much just in that one look. Um, because obviously fear that she she knows his deepest secret, but also like there's such a that disappointment when like somebody who knows you, and at this point she knows him better than anybody else, um,
Yeah.
and knows the his like deepest shame. He doesn't like that he's the Ghost Rider. He says that
Yeah.
he sold his soul, um, and so like someone who knows everything about you, including the worst things about you, in your own opinion, and then just leaves. That's crushing.
Yeah.
Ugh, Gabe, what did you do?
Gabe, you had the purest of intentions,
Yeah,
but you fucked it all up.
he could have just gotten to know her for a second. They could have had a single conversation.
Who is the woman behind Quake? Is what
Yeah.
is the real importance.
Ugh. Anyway, so May, now that she's woken up and she's all better, she calls Coulson, obviously, because they're besties. Coulson says, I heard you're feeling a little more yourself now. And May says, I'm cranky. And Coulson says, yeah, like I said. So May and Simmons are also watching the shield roll out, and May tells Coulson that it should have been him up there. We love a supportive bestie.
And then Coulson's like, no, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Which is so cheesy.
Confidence. Self-confidence, baby. So now it's time for the post-content content. Wow.
Thank you.
So Senator Nadir watches her own news broadcast. Who does that? Surely not us. We would never listen to our own podcast. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, no. Absolutely not. I didn't do that yesterday because I had nothing else to listen to.
That's a crazy thing to do. Consume your own content? Wow. So Senator Nadir watches her own broadcast where she called Jeff a liar with absolutely no proof. Literally, she was like, I have multiple sources, credible sources, that say that it was not the Watchdogs, it was actually Inhumans. So he is a liar.
WHIH is turning into Fox News.
Truly. When all of a sudden she gets a phone call from, I assume, a watchdog saying that S.H.I.E.L.D. is a wrench in their plans, but they were able to kill 17 Inhumans during the blackout.
Crazy.
Wow. Nadir simply says that they are going to have to fight against the Inhumans harder. She quickly hangs up. And this is the thing that I have no idea what I was trying to say. So I rewrote it, but this is what I said initially. She quickly hangs up and tells the featureless cocoon that can find.
I have to pee so bad.
So what actually happened was She tells the people that she's at her brother's house before she hangs up, and then she throws mail onto the floor where there are piles and piles of other unopened mail. Then she turns off the light and she taunts the cocooned man in the corner of the room and says that she'll be back to check on him in a few days. So I am assuming her brother is an inhuman, and like, is she waiting for him to hatch so she can kill him? Or like, what the fuck is happening?
And that shit's genetic.
Yeah. So that means, bitch, guess what? You can take your fucking fish oil pills too. Man.
Oh, goodness. So do you have any overall thoughts on the episode?
Um, it was a good episode. I liked it.
I
liked it a lot. I feel like it was well done. A rare fight scene that I loved.
Yeah.
And anything with Robbie in it is gonna be a great day. Yeah. What about you?
My little overall thought, I didn't write it down, so I might get the details wrong, but there is a review I read, or the basic like complaint about this episode from critics is that the announcement of New Shield as a legitimate organization, a lot of people felt like it was a little too ambitious, since the MCU was probably never going to actually acknowledge it in the movies.
Oh. So?
Yeah. I think I really feel like within the world of the show, like, it stopped needing the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, it stopped needing the movies.
Yeah, because we're not talking about any of we're not talking about Captain America anymore. We're not talking about Iron Man anymore. Like, they just are like, they're in the same universe, in the same world. They just are not interacting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, that concludes our episode on Season 4, Episode 3, Uprising.
Yeah.
Next time, we'll be covering Season 4, Episode 4, Let Me Stand Next to Your Fire, so stay tuned for that.
Okay, bye.
Bye, love you.